Hi, I'm Adam Ende. I'm the founder and janitor of Jawbone Puppet Theater, and this is the first in a series of short instructional videos. Since everyone's stuck at home, I thought it would be fun if we could pretend that you were visiting me here at my studio, and to that end, I'll take you on a little walk through the entryway to my studio, and you can see the various things I've constructed here, and which I use in my installations, and the creepy dolls, and I use these to make puppet theaters and installations. Oh no, it's the mound of goat skulls, ooh! And here we go, as we continue to the entrance of Jawbone's studio. I'd like to introduce you to Dog Skull Baby. Hi, welcome to Jawbone Studio, yay! Okay, and here we go into the studio. And let's just get settled. As you can see, there's a lot going on in here, but let's just get settled down and begin with the project. What I'm going to show you how to make is paper mache animals or creatures, simple paper mache animals and creatures out of simple materials, newspaper and paper mache. Why don't I start by showing you what you'll need today? In this first video, I'm going to show you how to make a wire armature. If for some reason the wire armature makes you nervous, like you don't have wire or you don't want to deal with it, don't worry, I'll show you a way to do without it as well later, but I want to give you this option. So you'll need some 18 gauge wire is a good wire. It's stiff enough that it'll hold your puppet together, but easy enough to bend. So and anything heavier you're not going to want to deal with. And lighter might be a little loosey-goosey. You might be able to go a little bit lighter. And remember, when the numbers go up, the wire's thinner, and the numbers go down, it's thicker and heavier. And a needle nose pliers will come in handy. If you don't have a needle nose pliers, a regular plier would work also. Before we get started with that, I want to show you some examples of some of the kinds of things that I'm talking about. Simple paper mache animals. You might even just call them a sculpture, but I call them puppets. I guess it depends on what you do with them. You could, if you just put them on your shelf, they're a sculpture. But if you move them around and put on a show with them, they're puppets. Here's a deer, a fox. And these are the kinds of things. And now I want to show you a series of creatures that my son Ling Ling made. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a proper animal. And a couple things that could come in handy is some reference material. There's these great books of drawings of animals, and I find that it helps to have drawings rather than pictures to look at sometimes. This is from 19th century sources, etchings and so forth. And here's one of fantastic and mythical creatures and real and fanciful animals. And you don't necessarily have to have these books, but if you want to look online for some inspiration, you try looking up, 17th, 18th, 19th century drawings and etchings, and I think you'll find that rewarding. So, what you need to do to make an armature, and the armature is gonna help when you're making long legs, things like long ears, anything sort of that protrudes a tail, a long neck, horns, antlers, wings, any of these kinds of things, the wire's really going to help with. So that when you start paper macheing, it doesn't get floppy and fall apart or break off later. And basically all you need to do is bend your wire like that to make your legs, and then I'm going to bend it again. Like that. And I'm going to wrap that around there so it stays in place. And you see I've got 2 legs now, and I'm just going to make another couple of legs just by bending it in the same way and bending it again. And that might be, and I use my wire cutter on the pliers to take that off, and that, even just those 4 legs, that might be enough of an armature for what you're doing. If you have a long neck or a long tail, you might want to do more. And so let me show you another example. Here's one that has the same 4 legs that I just made, but it also has a neck going to, and we're going to end up wrapping this with newspaper, so it's going to be not look just like this. It's going to be much fatter and have many more shapes. And there's a tail on this one as well. And you can go as simple or as complicated as you want with this armature. Here's another example, and you can see this one has legs, it has a tail, a long neck, and it has antlers and ears. And that's the first step, is to make a wire armature. And I'll be back with another video to show you the next step. And remember, if for whatever reason the wire armature part stresses you out, skip it and I'll show you how to do it without it. But it really comes in handy. Okay,